Barbara Bush was the woman behind 2 U.S. presidents, the wife of one, the mother of another. Barbara Pierce was born in Queens, New York on June 8, 1925. She grew up in suburban New York. At a Connecticut country club dance, she met a young man who would change her life, George Herbert Walker Bush.
I was square all through high school. I just tried to do the best I could. I married the first man I ever kissed. You talk about a bore. I am the world's worst.
George Bush focused on building an oil business. Barbara Bush focused on building a family. George Bush eventually entered a life of public service. And while Barbara's candor might not have made a good match for his job as CIA director,
that's because I can't keep a secret.
Her charm was a definite asset to her husband's political career.
Find the joy in life, because as Ferris Bueller said on his day off, life moves pretty fast, and you don't stop and look around once in a while, you're gonna miss it.
George Bush served 2 terms in Congress, and in 1980 was elected as Ronald Reagan's vice president. 8 years later, he sat in the Oval Office. Barbara Bush loved living in the White House, keeping diaries of her time there and using them to help write her memoirs. 2 other books showed her lighter side and a dog's eye view of the executive mansion.
I must tell you,
Mrs. Bush knew well her vision of a First Lady's role.
I think the person who has the courage to run for the office is the one you should hear, not the wife or the husband. Having said that, of course I told George how I felt.
For George and Barbara, their more than 60 years together included decades of devotion. This letter to her, written by George while he was serving in World War II.
I love you, precious, with all my heart, and to know that you love me means my life. How often I have thought about the immeasurable joy that will be ours someday. How lucky our children will be to have a mother like you.
2 of those children, George W. and Jeb, would solidify the Bush political dynasty as president and Florida governor. But in a surprising comment in 2013, as talk of a presidential run by Jeb swirled, the matriarch told NBC's Today Show there should be a limit on the family's White House claim.
There are other people out there that are very qualified, and we've had enough Bushes.
But after Jeb did decide to run for the 2016 Republican nomination, she fully backed him and hit the campaign trail.
He's decent and honest. He's everything we need in a president.
In or out of politics, the legacy Barbara Bush nurtured will live on through her family, children, and grandchildren.
I know that I'm the world's luckiest woman. I think if I sort of put it in a nutshell, these are the things that are important to me: faith, family,